Good evening, everybody. I'm doing an evening soap here this evening here in Spada. We're going to be making our raspberry cupcakes, cupcake soaps that is. And I've got this big huge mold ready to go. It's got a ton of cavities here for lots of cupcakes. However, I'm not going to be doing that many, I don't think. I don't know if the amount of soap I have is going to fill that amount. I have done some embeds over here, which I have to do a few more. And they're pretty little raspberries. I'm going to be doing a whipped soap for the frosting, so I'll do that tomorrow. So for today, I'm just doing the base, and I'm going to have to make some more of these embeds, depending on how many of the cupcake cavities I actually fill. I'm going to be using this kit, which is a set that can swirl 3 colors together at once. And I was thinking of going with a purple, a blue, and a green, and then just topping it off with this beautiful purple raspberry. So I can't remember what I called the soap, but I'll get back to you on that. I'm going to bring you over for now. I've just collaborated my lye into my oils, and I've done a water discount here, because I heard that if I discount it, it will help prevent soda ash. So we'll see what happens. I only did a 10% water discount. Now someone suggested to me to do a 30% discount. But lye is, soda ash is really one of those things that's individual to every soap maker, depending on where they live and a number of different factors that can cause soda ash. So what might cause soda ash for one soaper may not cause it for another. So you kind of just got to use trial and error and do lots of recipes and find out what works and what gets soda ash and what doesn't. So this is incorporated here now. For the base, I'm going to be using a purple and a blue colorant, and I'm going to swirl them together in a pot swirl. Hopefully you guys can see here. I'm going to get moving with this. I'm going to stick blend this. Let's give it one final little stir here. And we have, I'll show you the fragrance. I have blueberry from New Directions Aromatics, a blue raspberry fragrance oil for this soap. So here we go with our stick blender. First we're going to see if there's any air bubbles in there. This is called burping your soap. Alright, so I'm going to give it a quick little swirl here. Where I have done the water discount, it's going to thicken up a lot faster, so I want to be careful of that. If I'm going to do a drop swirl, I have to have it at a thin consistency or thin trace. So I'm just going to stir and blend as I go. Just to be on the cautious side, because I can see how it's already thickening up very quickly right now. This is only a small batch that I'm doing. So I'm going to test this now and just see if I got it at a thin trace, because I'm going to add our, and a thin trace means you'll see like just a very faint line on top of the soap. When you trail the soap along the surface. Okay. Oh, you gotta be careful. I usually use a shield with my soap, but usually I have a bigger batch, so I usually don't have it splatter up like that, but with a smaller batch, you want to make sure you use a shield or something. A little bit dangerous. So, I'm going to see if I can, in case there was some, oh, I don't want any bubbles. you gotta be careful with this stick blender, because if you do haul it out a little bit, there's, you know, spaces in the stick blender. So air can get through there if you pull it out, and then if you put it back into the soap, you've put bubbles back into your soap. So at least that's what I find. Okay, so I think that's a pretty good thin trace there now. Let me see. It's hard to tell sometimes. Maybe another little bit. So I'm going to stand back here. Okay, that has definitely done it. The stick blender is what accelerates trace, and it makes it go much faster. When I first started in my beginning soaping days, I would take, you know, a couple of hours or more, just probably more, I don't remember now, just stirring soap, trying to get it to come to a trace. And I enjoyed that. It was very relaxing, and I used to like the smell of the fresh soap. But today, I've moved beyond that, and I just like to speed it up and get to the real creative part of the soap making. I have no problem with skipping that lengthy step and getting things to go a little bit faster using the stick blender. Alright, so what I'm going to do now, because I would like to have this at a thicker trace when I pour. Thick trace may also help prevent soda ash. So in goes our fragrance oil. And I'm just going to stir that in. Stirring is best, because some fragrances can accelerate the soap and make it thicken real fast, and you don't have any time to work with it. So this has kind of gone over the edges. I don't want any of that fragrance oil to get on anything, because it's really a bugger to get the scent of fragrance oil off of things, as you would expect. So it's very strong. It's a very strong fragrance oil. It smells very good. But I'm going to attempt not to be sticking my nose in, because, you know, you are dealing with chemicals right now, and with the soap you're dealing with lye, and you don't want to be breathing all that in. You want it to saponify and cure and all of that, and I don't really want to stick my nose into the fragrance, because I might get a headache. So I'm stirring this in fairly nicely here, and this is at a pretty good consistency now. So I'm going to actually, I'm not going to do it at a thick trace. What was I saying? I'm just going to see now if this is actually traced or not. I don't have really good vision here tonight, but it seems like a light trace. Okay, I'm just going to do one more. Gosh, I thought this would trace really, really super quick. I mean, like, instantaneously. Oh wow, that smells so good. It smells like that, like a bubble gum of some kind, like raspberry bubble gum, or some sort of candy. Very sweet and candy scented. So I'm hoping that this really does nicely in the soap, and once it's cured, I hope the scent is really nice. Okay, so let's give it another test here. Yeah, it's pretty good there now. I like to stir and blend, because you can get a false trace sometimes.